When and where was the world's first commercial microbrewery opened, setting off a global trend? How many millions of sausages are eaten in Germany every day? Where is the oldest university in Germany, second only to the universities of Bologna, Paris, and Vienna? How many hundreds of years did Cologne Cathedral take to build? Learn about all this and much more in our video Top 100 Plus Facts About Germany. The capital Berlin is 9 times larger than Paris. It is the largest city by area not only in Germany but also in the entire European Union. The population of Berlin is more than 3.5 million inhabitants. Germany was the first country in the world to adopt a parliamentary constitution in 1849. At that time it was called the Frankfurt Constitution. German is an official language in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Luxembourg, and Liechtenstein. West and East Germany were united on October 3, 1990. The capital Berlin has more museums, about 180, than rainy days in a year, about 156. Germany ranks third in the world in terms of beer production, only after the Czech Republic and Austria. The country produces more than 1,300 different varieties of German beer alone. Germany has the highest recycling rate in the world. 65% of all waste is recycled. About 1/3 of Germany's territory is still covered with forests and plantations. The Black Forest and the Bavarian Forest are especially famous. The most popular surname in Germany is Müller. Germany was the first country in the world to switch to daylight saving time in 1916. Fernuniversität in Hagen is the only public higher education institution in Germany, North Rhine-Westphalia, specializing in distance education. The Grimm brothers created the first German dictionary in 1838. The motorway system in Germany does not have a general speed limit. However, on some sections there is a recommended speed limit of 130 km per hour. Albert Einstein was born in Germany in 1879 and developed his general theory of relativity in 1915. There are more than 400 zoos, wildlife parks, aquariums, and aviaries in Germany, more than in any other country. Cologne Cathedral in Cologne was built over 600 years, from 1248 to 1880. About 60% of the world's products sold at fairs are made in Germany. The extremely complicated Nuremberg egg is the world's oldest clock, which has been showing time since at least 1506. Hamburg has more bridges within the city than any other place in the world, more than 2,300 bridges. German beer is considered one of the best in the world. The average German family drinks about 140 liters of beer a year. There are more than 1,500 breweries in Germany, which is about 40% of all breweries in Europe. They produce more than 5,000 brands of beer. Das Lied der Deutschen has been the national anthem of Germany since 1922. The composer Joseph Haydn wrote the music for the anthem in 1797 on the birthday of the Holy Roman Emperor Franz II. In 1841, on the then British island of Helgoland, Hoffmann von Fallersleben wrote the lyrics to the Song of the Germans to a famous melody by Joseph Haydn. It later became the anthem of the Weimar Republic. The printing press was invented by Johannes Gutenberg in Mainz around 1440. This was the beginning of the modern printing era. German is the most widely spoken first language in the European Union with over 100 million speakers. The tallest cathedral in the world is the Ulm Minster with a spire 161.5 meters high. Construction began back in 1377. Germany has a unique driving culture called Fahrvergnügen, which means pleasure, satisfaction, delight, or satisfaction from driving. Berlin has more bridges than Venice, more than 1,700 bridges cross the city. Munich's Oktoberfest is the world's largest Volksfest, beer festival and traveling fair. It has been held annually since 1810. Volkswagen Beetle, German, Käfer, is a passenger car manufactured by the German company Volkswagen AG from 1938 to 2003. It is considered to be the most mass-produced car in history, produced without revising the basic design. A total of 21,529,464 cars were produced. German brands account for 50% of luxury cars sold in the world, from BMW and Mercedes-Benz to Audi, Porsche, and Volkswagen. More than 30% of the most cited scientific papers come from Germany, which is fourth in the world. The US ranks first with 61%. Albert Einstein and Max Planck brought the Nobel Prize to Germany in 1905 and 1918, respectively. Since 1901, more than 110 Nobel Prizes have been awarded to German scientists and researchers. Approximately 1.3 million people in Germany are millionaires. Germany is the world's #1 exporter, shipping more than $1.5 trillion worth of goods worldwide each year. Vehicles and machinery are the main exports. Beer in Bavaria is officially classified as a food product, not an alcoholic beverage. Football is the most popular sport in Germany, with more than 7 million people being members of its clubs and teams. This is almost twice as many as the 3.7 million in organized sports clubs. The port of Hamburg is the third largest port in Europe. Only Antwerp and Rotterdam are larger as individual locations. It ranks 9th in the world. Almost half of the cheese produced in Germany is cheddar, about 450,000 tons per year. There are more than 650 cars per 1,000 inhabitants in Germany, but 22 million Germans travel by subway and bus. The first printed book produced by a printing press was the Gutenberg Bible, published in 1454 in Mainz, Germany. Dresden was almost completely destroyed during the Second World War. More than 90% of the city center was destroyed during the Allied bombing raids. In Berlin, there is the world's largest transport tunnel under the river, the Muggelsee Tunnel. The Nürburgring in Nuremberg is one of the world's most famous motorsport tracks, more than 200 racing kilometers on the Nordschleife circuit. The Brandenburg Gate in Berlin is one of the main attractions of Germany, and is still the only historical city gate that has survived. About a third of all wine production in Europe comes from German vineyards. Germany has the most 3-star Michelin restaurants in the world. Out of more than 300 establishments, 40 restaurants with 3 Michelin stars are located here. In many German restaurants, beer is cheaper than mineral water or soda. You can also drink in public on the street without any problems. Almost all carnival costumes are handmade in Germany. Around 3 million costumes, from ostrich plumes to papier-mâché masks, are exported around the world every year. Germany is known for its various sausages, such as Frankfurter, Wiener, and Bratwurst. Germans eat about 800 million pairs of sausages a year. Germany has a world-famous tradition of Christmas markets, the first of which was held in 1296 in Munich. Today, there are more than 2,000 of them a year. During the Oktoberfest in Munich, about 50 million sausages are eaten every year, as well as more than 8 million liters of beer. Berlin has an incredibly vibrant nightlife and a creative cultural scene. 1 in 6 workers is an artist or creative person. The Berlin Wall stood for 10,316 days from 1961 to 1989, dividing Berlin into East and West Berlin. The German language has the largest vocabulary of any language in the world, more than 500,000 words. The German postal company Deutsche Post AG employs more than 500,000 people around the world, and 94% of letters within Germany reach their addressee the very next day after they are sent. The famous miniature Wonderland in Hamburg is the world's largest model railway system, covering an area of more than 15,725 square meters with more than 1,100 trains on more than 17 kilometers of track. German companies rank first in the world in terms of market share in export categories in 8 of the top 10 manufacturing sectors, from mechanical engineering to automotive and chemicals. Königssee in Bavaria is one of the most beautiful places in Germany. The crystal-clear lake, surrounded by mountains and forest, is a well-known tourist attraction. Germany produces more than 1 million tons of chocolate per year. The world's largest collection of working computers is located in the German Technical Museum in Berlin. Here are computers from 1946 and later, manufactured by ENIAC. The Elbphilharmonie Concert Hall in Hamburg has one of the most modern acoustic architectures in the world. The best grade in a German school is 1, the worst is 6. The average life expectancy in Germany is one of the highest in the world. Women live an average of 83 years, and men, 78 years. About 400 varieties of bread are sold in Germany. Germany is known for its fascinating medieval castles. More than 2,000 of them can be found throughout the country, from the stone castle of Kochum on the Moselle River to the castle of Hohenzollern on the mountain. In Munich, the English Garden is home to the world's largest Christmas village with more than 160 stalls featuring local crafts and delicacies. Founded in 1972, it attracts more than 3 million visitors every year. The Zugspitze in Bavaria is the highest mountain in Germany with a height of 2,962 meters. A special train with cogwheels goes all the way to the top at an altitude of 2,960 meters. Every year in Germany, 1.2 billion chicken eggs are sold for Easter painting. The most popular tourist attraction in Germany is Neuschwanstein, a castle in Bavaria. The Wadden is a UNESCO World Heritage Site stretching over 400 kilometers of protected wetlands rich in biodiversity, with sand dunes, estuaries, and tidal flats. It is home to seals, harbor porpoises, and numerous sea and coastal birds. Munich's Viktualienmarkt is a bustling open-air market that has been operating for over 200 years, dating back to 1807. Full of amazing sights, sounds and smells, from exotic fruits to delicious cheeses, sweets, jams, oils, honey and wines. A feast for all the senses. About 1 million people attend the Berlin Film Festival every year, one of the largest in the world. Despite strict national privacy laws, more than 37 million people are registered in Germany's national DNA database. It is the largest DNA database in the world and is used to investigate and solve crimes. About 7 million Germans are vegetarians or vegans. Germany is the home of the legendary fairy tale road, more than 600 kilometers of magical forest, medieval cities and castles that inspired the Brothers Grimm, and amazing worlds filled with myths, fables and legends. The name Germany comes from the Latin word Germania, which means neighbor. Berlin Zoologischen Garten is the oldest existing zoo in Germany. Opened on August 1, 1844, more than 3 million people visit it every year. The oldest university in Germany, which was founded in 1386, is located in the city of Heidelberg. Therefore, the air around is saturated with the spirit of freedom and creativity. At the same time, Heidelberg is one of the few large German cities that were not destroyed during the Second World War, so all the architecture is perfectly preserved from the past centuries. When the university was founded, it was the fourth oldest after the universities of Bologna, Paris, and Vienna. Munich's Oktoberfest is a place where world records are set. 15 people crammed into a phone booth. More than 200 people swing beer mugs in a coordinated fashion. And the daily beer consumption is equal to the volume of many Olympic swimming pools. Rothenburg ob der Tauber in Bavaria is an incredible medieval walled city that is so well preserved that it has become the perfect stereotype for the whole of Germany. It is famous for its night watchman tours and Christmas markets. German railways are extremely accurate and punctual, unlike any other. About 90% of long-distance trains in Germany arrive on time. Germany exports more goods than it imports, so it has the largest trade surplus in the world. The Black Forest cuckoo clock tradition began around 1730 and became world famous by 1850, more than 200 years later, and it still remains an iconic timepiece. Modern quartz battery-powered watches are made in Bad Wildbad, a state known for its healing hot springs. The works of famous German composers such as Bach, Handel, Beethoven and Brahms are performed by a modern robotic orchestra conductor called Teotronico. It uses its arms, hands, and eyes to conduct the music. Modeled on the Parthenon in Athens, the Valhalla Temple overlooks the Danube River Valley and contains busts of the most famous German scientists, artists, composers, and thinkers. Germany produces the most wind energy in the European Union. Around 15.3 million curry sausages, are eaten every day in Germany. This amounts to around 70 per second during peak hours. That's as many as 4 billion sausages a year covered in sauce. The Lorelei Rock in Sankt Gorshausen features in one of the most famous German legends and poems. On the internet, it is even translated in Google Whack, which shows its unparalleled popularity. The oldest brewery in the world is a German brewery in Freising, Bavaria. This brewery dates back to 1040. In 2018, 10.2 million migrants were recorded, i.e. every eighth inhabitant. The Berlin Underground is 151.7 kilometers long, 173 stations. It was built in 1902. The Speyer wine bottle, located in the wine cellar of the Speyer Historical Museum, is the world's largest wine barrel and can hold more than 1.7 million bottles of wine if it is completely filled to the brim. German brands account for 97% of the global piano market, including the legendary top-tier brands Steinway & Sons and C. Bechstein. Berlin Cathedral, with its distinctive dome, was built over 60 years from 1894 to 1905 and survived extensive damage during World War II, and decades of urban decay in East Berlin. Neuschwanstein Castle was the inspiration for Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty Castle and is decorated with frescoes telling ancient Germanic legends of knights and ladies. German autumn tradition of celebrating beer, wine, harvests and various festivals such as Oktoberfest from September to November. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport will become Germany's largest international airport when fully completed in 2026, with the capacity to handle more than 70 million passengers a year. Germany was one of the founding members of the European Coal and Steel Community in 1951, the predecessor of the modern European Union. Germany is the fourth largest economy in the world after the United States, China, and Japan. Berlin's world-famous Museum Island is home to 5 world-renowned museums, which are located together and represent more than 6,000 years of human history and culture, from ancient Egypt to the masters of German art of the 19th century. The Berliner Fernsehturm is the tallest building in Germany and the fourth tallest in Europe. Its height with the spire is 368.03 meters. Germany has more than 40 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, more than any other country in Europe. In medieval Germany, the Free City of Magdeburg established the Magdeburg Law in the 13th century. This legal code, the cornerstone of city government, granted citizens a variety of rights and privileges. Its influence spread rapidly, and by the 15th century, more than 600 cities had adopted Magdeburg Law. This legal framework became the template for municipal governance, influencing not only Germany but also other European countries. 80% of taxi cars are Mercedes-Benz. Germany has one of the highest levels of healthcare. Health insurance is compulsory. On average, a woman gives birth to a child at the age of 29.4. The Volkswagen car was created by Ferdinand Porsche in 1937. For the people, Volk people, wagon car, i.e. people's car. The most beautiful theater in Germany is located in Dresden. The Dresden State Opera is also considered one of the most beautiful buildings on the planet. It was built in the Baroque style and rises to 3 floors. On the facade of the opera building you can see figures of ancient Greek gods and sculptures of Goethe, Molière, Schiller, Shakespeare, Sophocles, and on the dome of the opera building there is a bronze quadriga with Dionysus and Ariadne by sculptor Johannes Schilling. Germany has changed its capital 7 times. The central cities at different times were Aachen, Regensburg, Frankfurt am Main, Nuremberg, Berlin, Weimar, Bonn, and East Berlin. Only in 1990 did Berlin become the country's capital again. Aspirin is an invention of German scientists. This unique medicine, which has taken the world by storm, was developed in the chemical laboratories of the Bayer factory in Wuppertal in 1897. The largest working bell in the world, called Peter, hangs in the bell tower of Cologne Cathedral. It weighs 24 tons. By the way, Cologne Cathedral is considered the third largest Gothic cathedral in the world, slightly behind its brothers, Milan and Seville. Frankfurt am Main is one of the few European cities with a large number of skyscrapers in its center. Today, 30 buildings in Frankfurt are more than 100 meters high, and in the top 100 tallest buildings in Germany, Frankfurt skyscrapers occupy the entire top 10.